What's going on, guys? It's Luke. You're going to run through this trade recap from this one trade today that we took on. Yes, we ended up catching a pretty big win today for 3.57R. Got in this trade a little bit later in the session than I wanted to. I just couldn't get an entry before that. Finally, patience paid up. We ended up getting an entry around 1047, 1048. So, without further ado, let's get into this trade recap. So let's put this back right here and then start going. So starting on the daily, we were on obviously in bullish order flow. We were above the previous day's highs, and I just had a feeling that we were going to run to all-time highs or just have a nice run up. So 4-hour candle from 6 that closed at 10 a.m. ended up closing bullish. So we were technically still within this 4-hour bullish FVG, but we just barely closed above it. So I didn't really pay too much attention to that. Then we go to the 1-hour chart. We had a huge run up. Not on this candle. On this candle right here, we had this huge run up. And then what you'll notice right here is we actually inversed a 1-hour bearish FVG. So if you look right here, we had a bearish fair value gap right here. Price came above it, ran back in it, and was respecting it. So bullish order flow was just being respected overall. So from there, at market open, NQ ends up flooding all the way down and taking out the AM lows, and then it takes out these hourly lows. And then if you look at ES, it didn't. So you see right here, NQ swept out these lows. ES failed to sweep out the lows. ES is the stronger index at this point, right? So price just ends up continuing to print. And then I just had no entry from here to here, right? Because if you look on the 5-minute, price just flew all the way up and really gave us no pullbacks until this point right here. So now on the 15-minute, we have this 15-minute bullish FVG right here, and price is respecting it. As you can see, it failed to close below it on this bearish candle right here. Then we go to the 5-minute, and on the 5-minute, price is respecting this 5-minute bullish fair value gap. So overall trend is bullish. The order flow is bullish. The 4-hour, the 1-hour respect that inverse fair value gap. The 15's respecting a bullish FVG. The 5-minutes respecting a bullish FVG. We have low resistance liquidity, and if we look to the upside, our draw is going to be back to New York AM high, and then I feel like we're going to make a continued run all the way up potentially to all-time high. So at this point, I just scaled down and was just looking for an entry. At this exact same time, though, NQ was also approaching these relative equal highs over here and heading to all-time highs. So I figured that NQ was going to basically hold the weight and that it was going to pull ES up with it. So on the 5-minute, again, respecting this bullish FVG, and what I do is I scale down to the 3-minute. The reason I scaled under the 3-minute is because out of the 1, 2, and 3-minute, this 3-minute still has this bearish FVG right here. So I want to see if this 3-minute can inverse this gap, then I'll take an entry. And this is exactly where we take the entry. Again, we're delivering off that 15-minute and that 5-minute bullish FVG. The 3-minute now has inversed the fair value gap. I want to see a continuation up to take out this high, and at least back up to these AM highs right here. So if we pull up the indicator back to the AM highs, and then potentially higher as NQ continues to rip up, most likely towards all-time high, I want to see at least price trade up. I marked out this 15-minute fair value gap from over here, so the start of that, and then that would give us a pretty good RR instead of trying to just hope that it goes to all-time highs, because if NQ takes out all-time highs, there's a good chance we get some type of SMT and then price nukes, right? So this is my entry right here at 1040, the 1047 candle. So we end up holding here, and this would have been another good entry that I would have honestly re-entered, but I didn't want to enter this late in the market. We actually had flipped this 5-minute bearish FVG, came back in and retested it. You could have got another entry right here. Like say you entered on this bullish close right here with stops below again, and the same take profit, you would have been able to get another entry here. But I end up holding this. I end up taking off half the position at the AM high, which was right here, which netted us about 1.86R, and then the other half of the position was taken off here for just under 3.6R. So yeah, good use of the continuation model today. Once again, higher time frame was bullish. We had an inverse fair value gap on the hourly. We inversed this gap, came back in and retested it. We had this S&T from market open. ES failed to sweep the lows while NQ swept the lows. No entry on this leg up, and then we get this retrace into this 15-minute gap, and we're also within this 5-minute gap. We want to see continuation up to the AM high, and then potentially towards the all-time highs and Qs ripping up. We get this 3-minute inverse fair value gap, which we enter tight stop loss below the 3-minute wick, and we're targeting these AM highs. And then I just targeted up to these 15-minute fair value gap just because that was a draw that I feel like price could draw and react into. So that's going to wrap it up for me, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Until the next one, give me a like, subscribe, comment on the video, follow me on Twitter. Link in the description if you guys want to support the channel. Until the next video, I'll see you guys then. Peace.